Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Honor channel. I'm Steve Shaw. And Halloween weekend, I'm going out to a corn maze here pretty soon. Gonna pop that bad boy on. And just walk around the maze and look how scary, see how scary I can look. So let's see if YouTube actually notifies anybody that I'm on here or not. Because I know there's been some issues with that, so. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to head out to a corn maze and do a little corn mazing and do some of that Halloween-y stuff. So, hey, what's going on, Shane? Let's get back to normal, shall we? So I can breathe and have some coffee. I'm going to run Q&A for a while. So if you guys have any questions, fire them up. If I miss it, as the Pablo says, trying to figure out the best way to get swole AF with full body. The best way to get swole AF with full body, in my opinion. What's going on, Keith, Omar, Gladiator? The best way to get swole with a full body is focus on making every muscle group from head to toe as strong as humanly possible, as big as humanly possible. One of the issues, hello Philippines, one of the issues with full body is that we tend to just do the big compound movements and not focus on all the minor muscle groups. So when it comes to full body, you need to check out the programs in my book. I'll give you some good examples, or my programs on Tiger Fitness. Got tons of free programs on tigerfitness.com, like the Huge Gainer Full Body. There's all kinds of full body workouts. If you go to Tiger Fitness and search full body workouts, you can find all kinds of stuff for free, or you can get my book, which has more stuff. And if you want to get swole AF with full body, just check out the 8 million workouts that I have online for free or in my book. Am I related to Brian Shaw? No. Brian Shaw and I have met. Brian Shaw is a Facebook friend of mine. Brian Shaw has told me how to deal with impingements, but I'm not a good friend with him. Let's see, Manish, let's see here. How can I keep body weight same while increasing strength? I can't increase my body weight because I compete in wrestling. Yeah, I mean, if you're really strict as far as body weight goes, you're going to have to get really scientific when it comes to weighing yourself once a week or every 3 days, and probably counting calories, because you want to get scientific, so you make sure that you are getting as much food as you can while still holding your weight. And that involves consistency. The more consistent you can get your diet day in and day out, meaning calories and protein intake, the better off it's going to be. Because you could, when you're trying to gain strength and hold weight, your calories and protein could fluctuate like this day in and day out, but on the average be the same. But the more consistent you get them on a daily basis, the more consistently strong you're going to feel. So that's my best advice. Shane, have you ever gave up caffeine, and so how did you feel? Good question. I'm going to get into that because that's a very good question. What's going on, Michael? If I missed your questions, post them up again. Back in the day, 86, 87, caffeine was seen as catabolic in the muscle magazines. It was seen as something that would eat away your muscles. So, being the OCD son of a gun I gave up caffeine a couple times. I learned that if you give it up cold turkey, you're going to have a headache for 3 or 4 days, and that's not fun. So, when I give up caffeine, I actually feel better in the morning. Hey, Scotland, how's it going? I'm Scottish, so I actually feel better in the morning. So, yeah, I've given it up. Let's see if I missed your question. Patrick from Scotland says, how do you feel about yoga? Alan Roberts says it's beneficial. I've met Alan Roberts and his wife. I've met Alan Roberts many times. Yoga sounds like a great thing to do. I don't have a lot of flexibility. I don't have a lot of time, so I don't do it. I like to hike in my free time. Alan likes to do yoga in their free time. I think there's a lot of benefit to both of them as far as flexibility and feeling good. So, yeah, I think it's a good complement for lifting. I think as a lifter, as an athlete, you need something to complement your lifting. I mean, some of these guys are just like lifting, and I get it. It's good to be passionate about things in life. But I think you need some balance. I think you need a physical activity you enjoy other than lifting, just to bring some perspective, some balance, and to not be one of these, guys that only posts his chicken breasts online. So if I missed your question, please post it up again. I'm scrolling back. Let's see, I'm scrolling back. Amy Killian, good morning. I'm trying to increase my deadlift, but feel I'm lacking confidence. Pulled 183 by 8 for 4 sets. That's really good. My coach has me programmed to do 225 next week, and I'm worried. Amy, I will tell you, if you can do 185 or 183 by 8 for 4 sets, you will crush 225. What you need to do is just forget the weight on the bar and just focus on form, and focus on, like, seriously, if you were doing that, if I were training you, you'd be at 240, 250. I know you can hit that easily. So it's all in your head. Just step up there, realize you're not going to die. Remember your good form and just pull. You got this. That's easy if you can. If you've been pulling that. Keith Kevin says, "What are your opinion on knee sleeves? I'm starting to get pretty heavy in some of my squats and deadlifts." Knee sleeves are something that can help keep the area warm. So once you become a relatively strong lifter, and you've developed a degree of consistency in the gym, you can start purchasing things like knee sleeves and trying them. They're good for keeping the area warm, which is good. And anything that can help keep an area warm, keep an area functioning a little bit better is certainly worth consideration. So if you have the budget for it, I would definitely consider knee sleeves, trying them out and seeing what you think. Gladiator says, I'm a body weight of 145, I'm 5'7". I'm a mechanical engineer. My test levels are low. I'm feeling tired. I've never taken any steroids yet. Excuse me, I just woke up. So Gladiator, I'm not sure what you're asking. I know your test levels are low. You've never taken any steroids. You masturbate daily. That'll help. I mean, sex daily is a good thing for longevity. Excuse me. Let me get some coffee here. Sex daily is a good thing for normal hormone levels. It's a good thing for longevity. And masturbation or daily sex is not going to impact your testosterone levels in a negative way. If you are low testosterone, you really need to see a doctor about it, and you really need to analyze your diet. Make sure you're eating enough fat. Make sure you're eating enough micronutrients, because even though you're at what's considered a healthy weight, there are some other things going on. Maybe sleep, maybe stress, maybe not getting enough fat. You got to look. There's a lot of good articles on tigerfitness.com that I've edited. I'm the editorial director, that talk about maximizing natural testosterone. They're not going to boost your testosterone crazy, but there's things you can do to refine, to improve your hormones, like sleep and stress reduction and fat intake and all that kind of stuff. You want to do those, and you probably want to see a doctor if it's that low, to be honest with you. Let's see. Mr. Chilled says, what do you think about gaining muscle on a vegan diet? I don't really care what kind of diet you're eating. It all comes back to listening to your body, eating when you're hungry, having a good balance of macronutrients. You don't want to undereat protein. You want to have a good mix of protein. I don't really care how you eat. I know personally I could gain on any type of diet, because it's all about understanding the game, understanding your food intake, and being on top of your food intake. So Lucas says, is drinking water during meals bad or not in terms of digestion? Don't overthink this. I mean, I'm not putting down this question, but no, it's not going to be bad in terms of digestion. If anybody told you not to drink when you're digesting or eating, it's just foolish advice. It's just really, really silly advice. I eat rice and eggs at night, and I'm like thirsty. I'm just thirsty. I have to drink. It helps process that food. And when you add stuff in your bloodstream, like carbs and sodium and whatever, the body's going to try to neutralize. It's going to need water on hand for that sort of stuff. So it's probably going to pull water from other areas, and the whole 9 yards. So just drink water. Listen to your body. If anybody said that, they're really messed up. Jonathan said, thoughts on heavy light split for powerlifting. How would you set it up? There are a lot of ways to set it up. When you talk about a heavy light split, I would do probably an upper lower. You can run an upper lower 3 or 4 times a week. It doesn't have to be 4 times a week. So it could be upper A, upper B, lower B, and that could be 4 times a week or rotated over the course of 3 times a week. If you're doing 3 times a week, then you're going to work out each upper lower 1.5 times a week. So I would probably do heavy upper, light lower, light upper, heavy lower. I would kind of rotate. So you're kind of doing heavy, light, light, heavy, heavy, light, light, heavy. So it's kind of that deal. That's one way of doing it. You could also do it and go in and do heavy bench, heavy squat, deadlift, and then go light bench, light squat and deadlift as well. It's all about really what feels best for you. But I think for the average person, that's a really good place to start. 3 or 4 times a week, upper, lower, and with heavy upper, or heavy A, or excuse me, upper A, upper B, lower B. So you go upper A, upper B, lower B, rotate between those. So I hope that helps. Let's see. What is your recommended strength program for an intermediate? Currently doing 5-3-1. I have 2 programs on tigerfitness.com. Shaw's 6-week program, and I have my own variation of 5-3-1. Those are really, really good programs, and they're for free on tigerfitness.com. So if you're an intermediate looking after strength, I got tons and tons of good programs on tigerfitness.com. My Shaw 6-week strength program is excellent. I love that program. I have my own 5-3-1 variation, and I have so many other workouts. I have a lot of good power building workouts on there as well. So check that stuff out. You just got to find my author profile. If you Google Steve Shaw Tiger Fitness, you can find it. You can find a ton of great workout options for free. I train every day. This is Nico's. I train every day. I do full body. Do you think it's optimal for building muscle? We have to stop thinking about, like, we can be really concerned with optimal. Like, is touching the bar to your chest more optimal than stopping it an inch short? Is doing dumbbell curls more optimal than barbell curls? We major in the minors. We need to major in the majors. So a lot of these guys out there will get you believing that you have to, like, solve some great mystery. Like, is full body greater than upper lower? Is upper lower better than bro split? And I was talking with a good friend this week, and here's the consistent thing that all successful athletes have. These successful athletes, the biggest thing they have in common is longevity, persistence. If you use a good exercise selection, get a lot stronger, have a good diet, remain consistent, you are going to build muscle over the long run. And is one thing more optimal than the other? It's way overthinking, because the differences are extremely minor, and that's something I preach a lot on this channel. That's something you really have to believe. Bass says, I'm curious. What is the best program to continue gaining strength and mass after completing a basic 5-3-1? I just kind of answered this question. I have a lot of good intermediate programs over at tigerfitness.com. I have Shaw's 6-week strength that's free. I have a 5-3-1 program. It's free. I have a lot of really good power building programs over at Tiger Fitness. Just all free stuff. And if you don't want that, you can buy my book, which is linked below in most of my videos. But I've put out so many good workouts at tigerfitness.com, specifically for the intermediate. So check them out, please. Just Google Tiger Fitness, Steve Shaw. You'll find them. Let's see. If I miss your question, please post it up again. Thoughts on German volume training for beginners? No, never, not needed. Waste of time, don't do it. Beginners should never do German volume training. A beginner needs to focus on building a base, a form base, improving their form, improving their strength. No complication for a beginner. If a beginner gets tunnel vision, does an upper lower full body workout, even a bro split, and just hammers away at progression, that's all they need. That's all they need, plus a focus on form. Don't mess around trying anything until you have built a track record of building 10 to 15 pounds of quality muscle mass. You've dialed in your diet, you've dialed in your form, you understand the game of lifting. Understand the game of lifting before you try anything. Now, as far as German volume training, I'm sorry to beat the Tiger Fitness drum, but I have an article on Tiger Fitness that I wrote based on a study that hints that a 5x10 is just effective as a 10x10. So that's something to consider. When I put together German volume training, I like to do like a 5x10 with bench press and a 5x10 with push-ups. I don't like to do a 10x10. I just find it boring. So there's some research that hints that a 10x10 is really not more effective than a 5x10. So just something to think about. Let's see, Ed says intensity a day and volume day versus heavy followed by high rep. intensity is heavy in the strength realm. Intensity is weight relative to your 1 rep max. So basically, intensity and volume versus high rep and heavy, either one is fine. I mean, if you want to have I like to include each in each workout. I mean, I like to go heavy, then I like to do volume, and then I like to do like rest pause work. I like to do each week. That's what I like to do. If you want to have a heavy week and then a volume week and then an intense week or whatever, that's fine. As long as you're progressing, you're going to be good. Just remember that. All right, guys, 15 minutes in. If I missed your question, post it up. Kyle says, did you do any accessory exercises besides your meat and potato exercises when you did to training? I'm not sure what you mean by when you did to training. I've always done, you can call it accessory exercises. I call it a smart chain of exercising. You go in and do your heavy work, whether it's a 5x5 or a 5x8 or a 3x8 or 3x5 or 3x3 or whatever, on your bench, squats, deadlifts. You start off with the big movement. Then you move on to still a challenging movement. That might be a compound movement variation, but not as challenging as the main movement. And then you can move on to machine exercises or isolation exercise or whatever you want. Like on legs, I'll start off with squats, and then I might do leg press or hack squats, Romanian deadlifts, box jumps, body weight lunges. So I kind of progress. But yeah, I've always done accessory work. I was more of a bodybuilder for 20 years, so hope that helps. Well-rounded program is a good thing. Your take on lightweight. Oh, lightweight. He said lightweight. I hate the word lightweight. I'm building muscle in the 12 to 15 rep range. Here's my take on it, Steve. If you're thinking about lightweight and you're thinking about just doing reps, nuh-uh, not going to work, not going to build muscle at all. Rep range doesn't matter. Progression matters. It don't matter if you're in the 5 to 8 rep range, the 10 to 12 rep range, 12 to 15 Anybody that believes rep ranges are important, I made a video about this 2 weeks ago. They're not important. Making sets count is important. Progressing is important. Lightweight with reps isn't going to do anything. It'll help you maybe maintain a minimal level of conditioning, but it's movement, so it's better than sitting on the couch. But that's really all it's good for. If you want more information on this, I've made plenty of videos, but I made a video about rep range. You can check out my book, Massive Iron, if you want to get more detailed information. You got to make sets count. You got to push sets to the limit. That doesn't mean training to fail. You got to use good form. You got to progress. You got to get stronger. Lightweight plus some random rep range will not help you at all. It won't help you at all. What do I think of Dave Palumbo and his ideas? I have no idea what his ideas are. I'm very sorry, Michael. Anybody that has a question for me, you can hit up the link below, post it on Tiger Fitness, and I'd be happy to research it and answer in detail when I'm at my computer and can look. But no one's ever asked me about Dave Palumbo. I've never researched Dave Palumbo, so I really don't know. Just remember the basics always work. Sets of 2 body part once weekly with some excess. Not sure what that means, Kyle. Sorry. Could you beat a gorilla in arm wrestling? I hate arm wrestling. I really do. Arm wrestling sucks on my old shoulder. So, hey, Fiona, come say hi to everybody. She's back from Australia.
Hello, sexy, muscly people.
Sexy, muscly people. I thought she was talking to me for a second, but apparently not.
You're the sexiest.
I'm the sexiest, muscliest people.
You're the sexiest, muscly person.
Yeah. Let's see here. Opinions on, did that one. You ready to live blind? Sure. You mentioned in a recent video that full range of motion bench press might be bad for the shoulders. Does that apply for rows? That's a very good question. During a bench press, you're weighting it and you're lowering it, and you can feel the stress on your shoulders. In a row, I don't really think during a row we're actually rowing a weight all the way up to our pecs. We're kind of rowing it up here. So when I'm doing a row or a pull down, I don't overextend. Like, you can get to a point where you're doing a row or a pull down where you're really trying to drive your elbows back in kind of an exaggerated way. And if you're doing that, yeah, they probably are bad for your shoulders, probably not great for your shoulders. But because you have a resistance pulling you the other way, in general, I don't think, because of that counterweight, I don't think a row is as bad because it's constantly pulling you back. So I think the shoulders are in a better mechanical position. So I hope that helps. Prowler training, hey man, you're talking to a hiking freak. I get out there and do 6, 7, 8, 10 miles a day. I love stuff like that. I just mentioned earlier in this video, I love guys that'll go out and do things other than just straight weight training. So I think the Prowler is a great, fun option. I used to do a little bit of that myself. Dan Hall says, I'm 33% body fat. Should I cut first? Yes, Dan, you should. You still gotta go into the gym, do a resistance training program, focus on getting a lot stronger than you are. But anytime we have a weight issue where it's impacting our health, our quality of life, and we think about it a lot, like it's just a mental burden. Yeah, we should definitely cut. At least do a 2 to 3 month cut. Get off, 16, 20, 25 pounds of fat. Reassess. At the end of the day, anybody that's overweight, and this isn't for skinny guys because they have mental issues if they think they're fat. And what they usually need is muscle. But if you are overweight and it's a constant mental burden, it's you have anxiety, you have depression, you have stress, you always need to cut first. You need to take care of your mental health and your physical health first. So I hope that helps. I'm scrolling through. All right, favorite cheat meal. I think I got caught up, guys. I got about 10 minutes left. Favorite cheat meal. What do I do when I want a cheat meal? A lot of times I'll get like a whole cheesecake. We haven't done it together, but
You did it without me.
Well, no, not while you were gone, but in the past when I was binge eating, I would get a whole cheesecake. I love those purple bag Doritos. I love getting chips and salsa. I love nachos, pizza, wings, stuff like that.
Pizza.
Yeah, that's my staples right there. All right, guys, I got about 10 minutes left. Toss up your questions. Jonathan says, I can't seem to get hook grip to work. Am I limiting myself by pulling alternate? No, not at all. When I pull with an alternating grip, I like to switch it up during warm-ups. But no, I mean, alternating grip, you're not limiting yourself on alternating grip. I do recommend, though, long run, that you consider VersaGrips or straps. Because unless I train for powerlifting, I still use them. It allows me to focus on safe pulling to build my strength. Do you do core and lower back every workout? I rarely ever do core and lower back because my lower back gets hit quite a bit during my regular deadlift and squat training. I do some reverse hypers. I do some planks. I do some ab wheel rollouts, but I do a minimal amount of core and lower back work. And you don't want to over-focus on that stuff because you don't want to weaken the area. Good assistance exercises for bench press, close grip benches for volume, dumbbell benches, alternating dumbbell bench, because on alternating movements you can actually push more with one arm than you could if you're doing two at the same time. That's a physiological reality for most people. Alternating dumbbell bench press. I like to, heavy tricep work is good. You can do, I like to do a combination of tricep extensions with an easy bar, so I'll extend and then I'll do a close grip bench. Then I'll go back and do an easy bar extension and a close grip bench. I do those heavy for a lot of reps, usually 30 to 40. I like doing heavy, high rep cable tricep extensions for the triceps as well, because once you have all those compound movements done, you want something a little bit easier on your elbows. I found that bench volume is very good. A lot of guys will do their heavy bench and then they'll move on. Bench volume is very good. You can do a lot of volume work on your bench press and it can really pay off. Guillotine press, where you bring the bar down, I don't know, about 5-6 inches above your chest, but you're bringing it up here. You're not actually bringing it to your neck, but that's a good chest builder as well. So a lot of good stuff. I'm not a big fan of floor presses, etc. Let's see. Valius. what do you think about leg training? I do 10 by 10 squats and 10 by 5 deadlifts once a week. And next week, should I swap them around? Is that too much? When you're asking yourself, is something too much, you're asking yourself the wrong question. You should be asking, if you can do that kind of volume work on squats and deadlift, what you should be asking yourself is, am I pushing myself hard enough on these movements? If you are progressing on this, then yes, it is enough. Should you do them every week? If you're doing that kind of intensity work every week on squats and deadlifts, I would probably rotate in every other week, a little bit lighter of a week. That's just my opinion now. If you feel good, just run with it though. I don't know how Valius isn't dead either. That would kill me. Steve says, I'm in my 50s. What's your advice for people my age still trying to put on muscle? Health first. Health first. You want to be at a reasonable body weight. So if you're overweight, you need to get to 200, 210 pounds, 220 max if you're like 5'10". So health first. Get your weight down to normal. Clean foods. Eat a lot of whole clean foods. And when I say clean foods, a lot of people get crazy, but by clean foods, come on, we all know what it means. It means meat, fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, stuff that isn't in a box or a can or whatnot. You want to eat a lot of clean foods. You want to make that 80 to 90% of your diet. You want to learn to listen to your body and eat when you're hungry. You don't want to do aggressive bulks. You don't want to do an abundance of volume. You want to do maybe 12 to 16 sets max per workout, a good well-rounded program, but that still challenges you. And you don't necessarily have to push every set for progress. You can alternate week in and week out between like doing 3 sets for max reps on the bench press, and then the next week maybe a little bit of a volume work like 5 by 10. But that's my best advice. My best advice is to think of health first. You still have to get a lot stronger. You have to train smarter. You can't use too much volume. And just eat healthy. Elbows sometimes hurt with curls. If your elbows hurt with a specific curl movement, you need to stop doing it. I don't do the straight bar curls because it rotates stuff out. Beyond, I like doing easy bar curls. I like doing cable curls. I like doing the easy bar cable curls. I go on the seated cable machine and do easy bar curls. I do dumbbell curls with supination. If a movement is causing you elbow pain on the biceps, you need to stop doing it. If you still have a lot of elbow pain, there's a chance you could have tendonitis. And in that case, you want to move to straps when you're pulling during row movements. And that allows you to relax your grip a little bit. And that's a good place to start. And you probably want to pull back on your bicep work in general if you still have elbow tendonitis. How do I search your workout plans in Tiger Fitness? The best way to find me is search. There's 2 ways. You can go to Google and search Steve Shaw, Tiger Fitness, and it'll pop up my author page, which has like 7,000 articles. You can also go to the Tiger Fitness search bar on the site and search Steve Shaw workout, and it'll give you a list of workouts that I probably wrote. And it's a really good search function on the site. So you should be able to find it. All right, guys, I got about 5 minutes left. If I missed your question, why should I be dead, Valius said? Because you're doing 10 by 10 on squats and 10 by 5 on deadlifts every week, and most of us would die doing that. You're just a super stud, Valius, because I would die doing that. Sam says, I'm 16 and strength training for football. We are tested for bench press, so I perform it twice per week. Will all this benching damage my shoulders in the long run? No, it won't. You just listen to your body. Like whatever program you're running at any age, at any level, you have to listen to your body. So if you have a plan where you're benching twice a week or whatever, and you feel crappy during one of those days, you need to chill. You need to learn to bench press and chill. You know what I'm saying? So never stick to a program when you feel like you need a break during a given day. As long as you feel good on that program, you can keep going. All right, guys, let's see here. Michael says, how can you eat healthy and gain weight? We've forgotten how to listen to our body. So how do I eat healthy and maintain or gain weight? I just eat good, clean foods, and I eat when I'm hungry. I mean, it's really as simple as that, and you got to watch the scale. And if you are not gaining weight over months and months period of time, and you're listening to your body and you're kind of staying the same weight, then maybe you need to get up in the morning and eat a couple protein cookies or a couple, like a big 100 protein bar, or add in 300-400 calories right out of the gate in the morning, and then go about your business the rest of the day. Are Jim Stepani's programs generally good? Yeah, but you know what? Jim Stepani is no big, hairy, ugly dude. Just remember that. Let's see. Camry says, Steve Shaw in the morning, live Q&A while I drink. Yes, while you drink coffee, yes. Well, at first I read that like you were drinking, so I was like, wow, he's getting started early. Let's see. Kevin says, I was wondering about RPE and 1 rep max and use it to auto-regulate. You know what? RPE. Here's what you need to... I mean, I've taught a concept long before RPE came around. And that is, when I was doing heavy squats multiple times a week, I would do what felt good on that day. So say I was up to 640 for a double or a triple on squats. I got videos here. I'm not just pulling a Jason Blaha. I got videos on here, many videos on here back in the day when I was squatting 600 plus for reps. Ravi wants me to say cheese. Cheese, Ravi. I don't know. Here, back to auto-regulation. When let's say you hit 400 for a triple on squat, and you say, that felt manageable. I feel like next week I could go in and add 5 pounds and still probably do the same thing. That's the best way to auto-regulate, in my opinion. If you do 400 for 2 to 3 reps and you're like, wow, that was a little bit sketchy, I don't think I could add weight. When you feel confident you could add 5 pounds to the bar and still do what you did, that, in my opinion, is the smartest baseline to auto-regulate. All right, I'm going to do one more question, guys. I'm going to hop off today. Andre says, beer or wine? Andre, beer. Beer. IPAs that are high alcohol volume, porters and stouts, oh my God, all day long. Let's see, what do we got here? Come here, babe. Camry wants to know, Big Ass Steve, what's your rack pull 1 rep max above the knee? I did this a while back, and I loaded up the bar with every plate, and I had to put bands on. I don't know, I pulled like 950, and I could have pulled more, but if you don't do that stuff every day, your tendons in your back are going to get sporked, and you'll probably rip something and injure something. So that's something you have to do every day. More, Joel, how's it going? What's the best place to research programs? I have written more workout programs than anybody in the industry, I guarantee it. That's my bread and butter. The best place to research workout programs on tigerfitness.com. Tigerfitness.com. Thanks, Shane. We'll have fun at the corn maze. All of our Aussie bites are together. Now I just need to bite this Aussie right here.
You can bite my little Aussie bite.
Yeah, I'll bite that little Aussie bite. That's a little naughty. Is basketball cardio? Yes, it is, Jerry Ward. I was a college basketball player. And I love basketball. I was a basketball fool. I was a shooting guard. So yeah, it's anybody that tells you exercise where you run or sprint or do interval training isn't cardio, they a little bit wacky whack. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great Halloween and try not to get killed.
It's my first American Halloween.
That's right. Nothing wrong with a little naughty, no? All right. Peace. And tell Jerry Ward basketball is motherfucking cardio, bitches.